Hi everybody, welcome back to Art a la Carte and another episode in the 100 Character Draw Challenge. Now for those of you who didn't watch last week's or vote, the character Cinder was the winning character. And if you want to find out more about her story, I will leave a link to the whole playlist of the 100 Character Draw Challenge that we have done so far at the end of this video. This episode is going to be a little bit different than other ones because I have picked a theme. I'm not going to do this for everyone because I like a little variety. But this one I decided I want to do all villain characters. And at first I thought, well, they'll just be all like creepy and, monsters and stuff like that. But then the more I thought about it, the more I realized that really good villains aren't always creepy and scary looking. So for my first character, which is actually the companion piece to Cinder, I decided to draw this kind of witch girl. And her name is Simone, and I will give credit. I'll flash up the little name thing because you guys are helping me with names. Character design I have fun with, but I'm having the hardest time coming up with names. So in the comment section below, you guys can suggest names for characters. And if I use your name suggestion, I'll put a little clip of your comment on there. So if you want a little shout out, that's how you can do that. So anyway, the story with Simone is she is a witch in training and she's from a really, really rich family and she gets whatever she wants. And her father gives her a fairy candle, which happens to be Cinder's candle. And Cinder's story is kind of entwined with that. I didn't delve too deep into what happened, but Simone wasn't the nicest girl. She's a little bit of a spoiled bully, which is a typical kind of villain. So here you go, the character of Simone, which I really liked her color palette. I have this kind of purple magenta color with this lime green, which I think worked really well. So the next character I designed was, I wanted a kind of a poisonous character. So I decided to create a kind of a plant-based fairy, and I wasn't exactly sure how she would turn out, but I love how this design went. I kind of wanted to have like a rose or like a bleeding heart shape, and it just started going from there. So she is an evil fairy queen, and she delves in poisonous plants. So if you make her mad, you'll probably end up being poisoned. I like her color, the coloring that I chose for her as well, which was these really dark maroons. One maroon was almost black, and then she had a very pale skin with like this kind of greenish blue hair and all that. Again, these are so small. I would love to be able to delve into like the details of the character, but because the paper itself is so small, it really restricts my ability to like get in there and put in some fine details. So yeah. So I decided to name this one Deidre, and thank you for the suggestion on that name. So moving on to the third character, sometimes when you're having a hard time coming up with a character design, throw out a shape and then use that shape to create a character. So that's what I did. I pulled out this shape here and started designing, and immediately, I don't know if you can guess the Looney Tune character that came to my mind, but I was like, I gotta be really careful because this is going to turn out to be the Tasmanian Devil, which is, I guess, kind of a villainous character, but I'm trying to do original characters here. So I had to really push myself to not continuously draw the Tasmanian Devil because every mark I made led it closer and closer to being the Tasmanian Devil. But I made this Troll King, Goblin King. I haven't quite decided what kind of king he is, but he's a little nasty. He loves to kidnap princesses and hold them for ransom, and he's got quite the large army. And I love the name that I picked out. You guys have some really great names out there, and some of the names just lend themselves to the character design themselves. But this is Furtwick, and I'm thinking he's like the son of the king, and he has just now been made king himself. So he's looking for a bride. So if anyone's in the market for a marriage to a goblin troll king, he's taking applications, I guess. Moving on to the fourth character. This one I thought was just going to be kind of a lame character. I wanted to first make like this vampire baron kind of guy, and started designing him. And then as I'm creating him, kind of came up with this little bit of story in my mind. And every really good villain out there has a really good backstory, I think. Has a reason why they became villainous. So Oh, I love the spelling of this name, but I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing it correctly, but it's Enfidus, and you'll see the spelling later. Anyway, he is a puppeteer, and he goes and entertains in royal courts and things like that. And somehow he was betrayed or jilted or whatever, but he also is an illusionist. So now he is seeking his revenge with his illusions that he can do. So that's his character, which I thought, I'd like to explore that some more. Moving on to the last character, I decided to do more of an animal-based villain. So I wanted to do a three-headed dragon. And really, again, it was just going to be a simplistic, just three-headed dragon. But I decided that each head should kind of represent its own personality. And so one dragon head is very interested in gold and silver and treasure. One is very violent, and the other is very gentle. But the poor gentle one can never get away from its two villainous heads. And so it's kind of villain and victim all in the same dragon, which is kind of sad. But here you go. All 5 designed characters. You guys get to vote. The character with the most vote moves on to the next round. And ultimately, we will have our grand champion. So if you're not yet a subscriber to my channel, hit that subscribe button so that you don't miss out on any of these videos or any other videos I create. And of course, don't forget to vote in that top right-hand, left-hand, right-hand corner, I think it is, right? Yeah. Well, thank you guys for hanging out with me. And until next time, God bless you guys. And we'll see you in another art video. Bye-bye.